Good afternoon, customers of Knowhere Games and Comics. It's me, Matthias, here with your weekly live stream of all the awesome new comics that came out today. New Comic Book Day, October 2nd, 2019. And we've got some really cool news for you. This weekend, obviously, is great for you gamers. Not only is it going to be the last month of our HeroClix Regenesis event, it will also be the release of Magic the Gathering's Throne of Eldraine, the Grim Fantasy and Arthurian Legend Magic the Gathering set. All sorts of fun things with the new collector's packs available, as well as the new Brawl decks, the smaller form of Commander that keeps it in Standard. On top of that, in just 2 weeks, on October 19th, we're going to have Brian Haberlin here signing. He will be signing his brand new series, The Marked. But don't let that stop you from bringing in your Spawn 300s, your Sonatas, your Medieval Spawn and Witchblades, or any other amazing Anomaly comics, or other Top Cow and Image titles that Brian has worked on. He's worked on quite a few. Spawn 300 and 301, I'm sure we're going to see quite a few of, because Spawn 301 comes out next week, and I believe you worked on that. We have some other big signings that I can officially announce as of today. David Boer will be with us in November, the man behind things like Powerless and the very, very popular IDW series Kanto. We also have an incredible pair of writers. Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly will both be in here in the end of November to be doing their brand new DC series based on the popular Rooster Teeth cartoon series Genlock. And of course, they'll also be signing Star Trek Year 5, which is basically the 5th season and the 5th year of the journey of the original Star Trek series. We're going to have them doing things like Gotham City Garage, Green Arrow, Hacktivist, you name it. They have so many amazing comics, and they are honestly the coolest and most upbeat guys you'll meet in comics. Speaking of upbeat guys, also on the live stream this week I have my own Corbin Dallas in the way of Richard Rebello, our favorite guy we forced to say a few words now and then. And and of course we got some awesome new graphic novels and comics that we're going to go over. So we're going to go walk over to the new wall and talk about those amazing things, and we're going to start with the graphic novels. Because The Walking Dead has its final compendium out. Finally, Volume 4. This gets us all of the end of Walking Dead all the way up through 193. Thanos also brings an ending in its final hardcover by Jim Starlin, Thanos the Infinity End. The end of his most recent Infinity trilogy with the great Alan Davis on art. Doomsday Clock finally gets a hardcover for the first 6 issues, and don't worry, issue 12 is on the way. And then we have a brand new original graphic novel from Boom Studios' Gabby Dunn. It's called Bury the Lead, about a young girl working at an internship for the Boston Lead when a murder of a high-class local celebrity happens, and she refuses to talk to the police or any other reporters, just our young protagonist intern, about the death of her husband and child. Could this all just be a misleading red herring? Or could this be the byline of the century for our college student? Moving on to the new comics this week. Obviously, Absolute Carnage is the thing to talk about. And the person to talk about the new Absolute Carnage Immortal Hulk is our Absolute Carnage go-to man, Richard Rebello.
Al Ewing writing Immortal Hulk and Carnage. What more do I need to say? Fantastic read. I love this one. This one's all internal dialogue between Bruce Banner, the Hulks, and Venom coming to an agreement on how they're going to proceed as one. Really cool, really awesome dialogue. You could possibly argue that this might even be the true first appearance of the Venom Hulk, because they finally agree to merge versus the previous issue that you saw them in. They were kind of battling each other, and that's why you saw the black Venom suit crawling all over that big giant green Hulk. So really cool story, must get. Definitely, I think it picks up after Carnage 3, so if you haven't read that yet, make sure you read that one first. If you're not too caught up on Immortal Hulk, it won't really ruin it, but the more you know, the better. It's an awesome read.
All right. Well, Batman 80 is already sold out. You're going to want to get your orders in with us if you need a copy, because Batman has been blowing up at the end of Tom King's run with the City of Bane. We do have another Batman issue that, for all intents and purposes, should be long since sold out. Batman 251, this classic Neil Adams cover, is actually a wonderful facsimile edition. you can get this amazing key Batman tale for now the very, very affordable price of just $3.99 thanks to this wonderful reprint. Speaking of Batman, how about Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 6th and final issue of the 3rd team-up between these Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman. It's just no way to alternatively say Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, I can say Gotham Knight and a million other titles for Batman, but they're just turtles who are teenage and mutant ninjas. Yeah, but Kevin Eastman, the creator of those great Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, did this wonderful variant cover with a bit of Krang right there. Berserker Unbound. It's Jeff Lemire and Mike Deodato Jr.'s Conan story in the modern day setting with a great Dust in the Wind cover, as well as an awesome Deodato Jr. cover. Really, really fun. I'm enjoying the heck out of this. If you're reading Conan, you should be reading Berserker Unbound. Bizarre Adventures is a great 80th anniversary Marvel callback to one of their classic magazine-style horror books. Get this anthology one-shot today. Then we have the wonderful J. Scott Campbell doing a beautiful cover for Black Cat as McKay continues the run on the femme fatale and New York in the Marvel Universe, the classic Spider-Man villain/anti-hero, with a wonderful Terry and Rachel Dodson, I should say, variant featuring Mary Jane, all getting us ready for the upcoming Amazing Mary Jane out in 2 weeks. Source Point Press gets us our 2nd issue of Boston Metaphysical Society, the steampunk comic that deals with magic and all sorts of mysticism in the turn of the 20th century. Bumping past Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you guys all know about The Chosen One. Let's talk Kanto, a great pick of the week, because we're going to have David Booher out here soon. This penultimate issue is actually an incredible, incredible story as Kanto is joined by a larger cast as they prepare for their epic final battle. Gail Simone has a brand new comic series set in the Catalyst Prime universe of Lion Forge, and whether you've read all the Catalyst Prime issues or none, you're going to want to hop on for 7 days as we discover there are only 7 days before the end of the world. What will you or the superheroes you truly love and believe in do to stop it? Champions, it's its 10th issue from the great Jim Zub, soon to be writing the upcoming Dungeons & Dragons book. Contagion is an exciting zombie apocalypse set actually in the main Marvel universe. Yes, as a disease contagiously spreads across New York, even the heroes of Kunlun, the Fantastic Four, and other street-based warriors of New York City must come together to fight this pathogen that is turning people basically into diseased zombies. Copra is the comic book you need if you wanted Suicide Squad through a more indie comic style, thanks to Michelle Pfeiffer. And then, of course, we have Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky's great run. Thanks to Chichetto coming back on, we're going to have some fun artwork on this. Let's take it away to Richard to talk up this amazing thing that has a wonderful Mary Jane variant that I personally had to choose.
Through Hell Part 2. You've pick up this story with both Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock kind of trying to better themselves, take the higher road for as much as each of them can, and struggling with being able to do that because they are who they are. So that's really cool. Both of them come to terms with with who they are internally. The cool thing is Matt Murdock does it through having to save Daredevil. Surprisingly, we still don't know who the Masked Man is. Hopefully, we find out soon. But this ends where exactly we've been waiting for the story to pick up, with Matt going back to training to become the Daredevil again. I hope it's going to be great. This one's a fun read.
Moving on, another great warrior in New York who fights mobsters, Dead Eyes. You guys might remember Gary Dugan's awesome comic from last year, Dead Rabbit. Now it is back, reprinting the first issue, and this time it's going to continue without any trademark or copyright infringement as Dead Eyes, and I'm super excited. It is an ex-mob hitman who now is, despite retirement, his need for cash to take care of his dying wife comes forth, is going to go kill and threaten all the bad guys and collect all their ill-gotten gains to fund his needs. I'm actually super hyped on this. It's a really fun book. I'm so happy to finally have it back. If you guys already grabbed Dead Rabbit, it's not much different from the first issue of that, but it's still going to be a great one to have. May as well have it with the new title, and soon we will be dealing with new stories for the popular character. Deathstroke hits its 48th issue thanks to the wonderful Christopher Priest with some great covers. I love that the DCB covers right now are all Deceased theme because we love Deceased. We're already sold out of issue 5. Don't worry, we have a restock on the way. But this is a great Year of the Villain tie-in featuring, oh wait, Deathstroke, who is soon to rise from the dead. Die, the great Kieran Gillen book that is basically Dungeons & Dragons meets Jumanji meets It, hits its 8th issue with 2 great covers. One by the wonderful Stephanie Hans, and one who I cannot actually place who did this, but it is a beautiful piece. Doctor Strange hits the final issue with Mark Waid as we prepare for a new Doctor Strange, Surgeon Supreme, in the near future. Sandman fans will want The Dreaming to return as issue 14 is continuing the tale by Cy Spurrier that deals with the cast of the great Sandman's Undying Realm. Fantastic Four hits its 15th issue with a great Mary Jane cover by the wonderful J. Scott Campbell. There, I believe, all we have left is that great Mary Jane cover, but damn, that is a great cover. Flash gets its first of the 100-page giants. Yes, we are now getting 100-page giants that are just $5 books with new content and reprints alike. Yes, you can grab them at Walmart, but why would you grab them at Walmart? Walmart's a horrible place that we don't like, and we get exclusive, beautiful comic shop covers here at your local comic shop. On top of that, despite printing 3 amazing tales, you get 2 brand new ones, one of which is Gail Simone writing The Flash. Can't go wrong with that. Future Foundation, spinning out a Fantastic Four, that beautiful book right there, is a fun all-ages romp dealing with the Power Pack kids and the students of Reed Richards. We have the Maker as our antagonistic lead in this, and a great Mary Jane Watson cover right there. If you want, though, that is our regular cover because, wait, did they find him? Did they find Molecule Man? You'll need to grab issue 3 to find out. Then we get Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is a big one that me and Richard are going to both have to talk to you about with some amazing covers. This is the New York Comic Con exclusive cover, our great design variant. You got to love that King of Hell one because we'll talk about that momentarily. There's an A cover somewhere in here, theoretically. There it is. And then there are also some amazing variants right up here. Excuse me, Nick. But yeah, let's talk about the fun that is Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, what do you think?
I enjoyed it. I can't wait till the series really gets going. This picks up with there's a war brewing in hell. The demons in hell are not pleased with the way that Johnny Blaze is ruling over hell.
They're getting the hell out of there.
So they're coming after his throne. While that's happening, some demons have escaped. He's got to find Ketch in the real world to get some help to rein them back.
And if you recall, I don't know if you all read Absolute Carnage. What was it?
Spirits of Vengeance.
Spirits of Vengeance, yeah. There was obviously some bad stuff happening to Ketch and his family, and this will deal with the aftermath of that. So if you also are grabbing Ghost Riders #1, make sure you come over here and grab that spirit of or symbiote of vengeance. Yeah, I think you got it right there. Yeah, it's a good one to read.
This one's fun.
Yeah, and obviously leads directly into Danny Ketch's rather unfortunate and depressing position in the new book.
Yeah, he's not liking his position in life right now. He's kind of hating life and doesn't want to be the Ghost Rider anymore.
Yeah.
But Johnny Blaze needs him because Johnny Blaze, without him knowing, is being corrupted by something inside. And
ooh, and it is dark, it is evil, and it looks badass.
Really good showdown coming up.
Yeah. And then on top of that, obviously, people in hell are competing for the throne because no one in hell wants, Johnny Blaze to be the king of hell. So seeing who the contenders is, ooh, it's going to be a threat.
There is one evil queen that I won't mention. I guess you probably figured it out if you read it, but she's after the throne.
Yeah, so it is exciting. It spins a little bit out of, obviously, the current Avengers storyline as well. So all sorts of fun, all compiled here. And who knows, maybe we'll even see Robbie Reyes or other people, pop up eventually.
I think Robbie Reyes is still trying to get his heap of Dodge out of hell.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing.
No pun intended.
I wouldn't turn down a Dodge Charger, but it is nothing compared to, those flaming motorcycles.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, moving on, we're going to have to look at Matt Wagner's return to Grendel, his popular character, now set in the future. Devil's Odyssey is dealing with the future Grendel in space, and it actually looks really, really awesome. It's been selling really well for us, so you want to make sure to grab this new 8-issue miniseries. Gutter Magic is a beautifully drawn new series by SourcePoint Press. It gets a little bit of magic, a little bit of gunpoint, kind of steampunk-esque again. I think SourcePoint Press is far from pigeonholing themselves, but they're definitely getting a powerful theme on their bigger books. Moving on, we have Harley Quinn 66 with a great, great cover right there by, I believe, Gillian March. Sam Humphries kicking butt with this character, and the Year of the Villain tie-ins have been awesome. House of X has been the most popular mutant book in ages. The X-Men are doing a great job in it. And the final issue of House of X, issue 6, hits today. Once again, I'm going to bring on Richard to talk about this amazing book.
While you were sleeping, the world changed. That's right. That's how the series started. That's where we're at. Xavier lays down the law. Literally and figuratively.
Oh yeah, quite literally the laws of the future mutant society are laid down here.
They're definitely setting up the what's the next the X run? The next X-Men series.
X-Men, X-Force, Marauders, New Mutants, Fallen Angels, and Excalibur.
Yeah,
it all starts right here.
Definitely a political government strife book going on in this, as they create Krakoa as its own separate nation, dealing with laws. They enforce their laws for the first time.
They celebrate the outcome of the last few issues that were really emotional for House of X.
I actually have a beef with some of that, but it's something I don't want to spoil the book, but maybe
I think we should just do a really fun live stream in a few weeks once everyone's read House and Powers to talk about that.
I think Charles is being a little too much like Magneto, and I just don't know where they're going to go with
I can see that.
The premise of the X-Men is they've always been the defenders of the good, no matter how bad things got for them, or how many people hated them, or how many humans chased them down and wanted to kill them. And this is kind of like Charles is like, enough is enough, which I totally understand. But where are the X-Men going to go if they're not the good guys?
Well, the one exciting thing is this issue really just sets me up so excitedly for the next 6, X-Men #1s. Obviously, the 6 I just named, X-Men, X-Force, etc. I mean, I finished this book, and it's, without spoiling it, I was so hyped and ready to read X-Men #1. I'd already forgotten about Powers #6.
You're getting ahead of yourself. There's still one more Powers book.
Yeah, I know. But, I was so ready for that I almost didn't notice, but I did notice, in no way does this wrap up. I can't wait.
No.
If you're getting House of X, you need to be grabbing X-Men #1 at the bare minimum, because the story has a lot more to be told.
There's some things that happen in this that have to absolutely set up the future of the X-Men. I'm guessing it all has to come unraveling at some point, so that there's something interesting happening. One person that I don't know if you've noticed has been missing from the books for a while, she comes back in this.
Yeah, very, very huge, yeah.
The key character of the book that set everything into motion.
But the big thing I will stress, if you were reading House of X or Powers of 10 and you love them, you need to get in your pre-orders now for the next 6 X books, because I'm telling you, Eduardo, oh my god, the ending of this is just such a setup for what's coming. I cannot wait.
I can't wait till next week.
Yeah, oh yeah, Powers, I'm sure. Powers is another Red Line book. It's going to be a big deal one next week.
I almost don't want to read it because I don't want it to end.
I mean, this once again just reminds me, we got 6 more books coming, and I cannot wait.
And they're week after week after week after week.
Yeah, so there will be at least 1 to 2 X-Men books every week.
Something killer.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. So moving on to the DC big new team book, we get ourselves ready for Legion of Superheroes with the second and final part of Legion of Superheroes Millennium, as we follow Rose and Thorn through the 1,000 years between where we currently are and where the Legion rises. It is an awesome book. I cannot wait for the new Legion after this, and it's so cool to see where certain things like Batman Beyond, Kamandi, OMAC, and the other major parts of that 1,000 years start kicking in. The Handbook for the Revolution is our fun new one-shot from Chelsea Kane, the newest issue of Manhunters that gives us even more of that fun, down with men, go women in a world where young teen girls are turning into werewolves. Relics of Youth, I believe I talked about last week, but I'll go over once more, as a group of teens start having similar dreams of an island that they eventually all find themselves at, with a mysterious twist at the end. If you read the epic 80th anniversary of Marvel Comics and Marvel Comics 1000, you're going to want 1001, because here's all the creators that didn't get their artwork into 1000. Some more additional story pages by the great Al Ewing, some absolutely stunning artwork by some of the greatest artists and writers in the industry, and more of The Mask of Eternity. Some great covers available there. Mezzo is a Wave Blue World. It is always going to catch me as a hard one to say. A Wave Blue World's new comic series. It is part of the binge style comic reading, where you can grab this amazing #1, and if you like it, in a few weeks we will have a trade paperback that has the complete story. This great Mesopotamian style tale of Native Americans is going to Native Americans, just not North America, is actually really, really fun. The artwork is stunning. The writing is good. I cannot wait for the trade. You guys should definitely give it a shot with this premiere edition. Vault's Necromancer Map continues with its second issue today. I'm sure you all loved issue #1, and I need not say anything more. If you like sorcery and romance and action, come back for the second issue. No One Left to Fight hits its 4th issue. Aubrey Sitterson is such an awesome guy, with Fico Osio doing amazing art. It is like if Dragon Ball Z never ended, and oh my god, I hate that this is ending. This is such an awesome series. You need to grab it. If you haven't already grabbed the first 3, grab those. Rush in and grab the 4th issue. The artwork is stunning. The tale is amazing. And hopefully we'll have Aubrey back out to sign all of these again. We then get to my pick of the week, the one I am absolutely in love with. The comic that is, in my opinion, pushing the medium of sequential art forward. Nomen Omen. This awesome brand new #1 has 3 great covers. Aside from the main cover that is done by Jacopo, we also have a great Oliver Koipel and Becky Cloonan cover to a book that I really just can't describe to you. Like, I feel if I say anything, it's spoilerish. And even then, it's hard for me to explain what happened in it. It is a magical story of a couple venturing east to move to a new location when they come across a car accident that will change their lives. Jumping forward a number of years, it is their daughter, through unexpected circumstances, that is dealing with magical situations that her birth has caused. It is absolutely amazing. I love the usage of coloring and lettering in this. They seamlessly go from sequential art to prose in it. It is unbelievable. You need to give this a shot. You know what? I'm going to push it. I'm going to make my guarantee that I rarely do, but since we're right next to Once in Future where I have this exact same guarantee, if you grab Nomen Omen #1 and don't like it, I will buy it back from you, because this just blew my mind so much. It is awesome. Speaking of other books I guarantee like that, Once in Future, I have that deal for 1 and 2. You're going to want these. We still have first printings available of issue 1 and 2, but I wanted to show off the beautiful covers to the 5th printing of #1. Yes, it's so popular, it's on a 5th printing, and we still have first printings because we ordered so many so you guys would enjoy this awesome book. That's, I think the first printings are going for over $20. Does that sound about right, Richard?
I know the 3rd printing is going for $25.
Yeah. So 5th printing has a beautiful brand new cover with the great King Arthur in the background. The 2nd printing of issue #2 right there, if you wanted to take a look, that is the first printing of issue #2. So make sure you come and grab this book. No matter what printing you get, we absolutely are in love with it. There's no way you can go wrong. It is great. And it is Stacy's pick of the week.
It's a fantastic read, and like the speculation market is definitely blowing up on it. I think that's purely driven by the reader market, which is a great thing to see.
I wish that happened more often.
It's starting to happen. Immortal Hulk is another one that does that. So if you're putting it in the same sentence as that, what more do you need, really?
Yep, it is awesome. Going on, we have Plot. I really, really like Plot. This is one we talked about previously. I like that homage variant that Nate did, or Nathan Gooden did for the House of Secrets 92. Which, by the way, if you want a first appearance of Swamp Thing, we now have a Swamp Thing #1 by Len Wein in the shop. Definitely worth swinging by and taking a look at. But yeah, The Plot is a great suspense thriller, paranormal horror. You got to give it a read. It's fun. So, of course, as we talked about House, we have all of Powers in stock currently, issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make sure you come and grab those because the final issue hits next week. Over the Garden Wall hits its 3rd issue this week of the new Soulful Symphonies, and also has an original graphic novel that I completely forgot to grab, and we'll see if Richard will go grab that and the new avatars that are over on by the register, and I'm inadvertently just asking him to do things while directing it with my voice over the camera. But yeah, Over the Garden Wall, absolutely fun series, one of my favorite cartoons or animated features ever made. If you have not watched it, you need to watch it. It's on Hulu. It is unbelievable. And we have a brand new Over the Garden Wall original graphic novel from Boom called Circus Friends that came out alongside the newest Avatar Imbalance, as well as Avatar The Last Airbender Avatar Tales. So if you are a fan of Avatar or Over the Garden Wall, you need to grab these brand new great graphic novels from Boom. Punisher hits its 16th issue with a great Mary Jane cover and another wonderful cover. Matthew Rosenberg continuing to prove he knows how to deal with the man who hates the mob. Rags deals with another ex-Marine. This Marine, however, is not going and killing up mobsters. She's fighting zombies in her underwear. Yes, that is the concept behind Rags, a young Marine Corps or ex-Marine Corps female who finds herself in the zombie apocalypse with little to no clothes to wear. Red Sonja hits its 9th issue today with some great cover options as always, because the female warlord of Hibernia, I believe? Yeah, Hibernia, not Hyboria. Hyboria is where Conan is. Continues to kick ass as always. Dynamite's great with this. I think Mark Russell is kicking butt with this series. You got to give it a read. Ruby Falls is a new Berger Books Dark Horse title by Ann Nocenti that is drawing a lot of attention. Well, Runaways introduces a brand new character that will lead to a change in the title of the comic. Safe Sex is one I talked about last week and still cannot express enough how much I'm absolutely enjoying this idea of the bureaucracy of sex and those who rebel against it. It is a great social commentary, and Horn did an amazing job writing it. I highly recommend you guys give it a read. Then we hit Savage Avengers number 6 that I'm going to turn over to Richard to talk about before we both talk about Something Killing the Children.
This book's flying under the radar. It is a great read. Savage Avengers are a team of Punisher, Conan, Elektra, Venom, Wolverine, Dr. Voodoo. Who the heck hasn't always wanted to see that? If you're a comic book reader and you're not reading this, I don't know what you're doing. You're not a comic book reader. Yeah. That said, we last saw the team defeating the Marrow God. Kulan got away. The team splits up as Kulan is now going after Doctor Strange. So they split up. Punisher and Conan take the long, treacherous road home through the Savage Lands. And then at the very end, there's a familiar old villain that shows up. And he looks like he's been pulling the strings the entire time behind it. It's going to get really good now.
I just want to point out, whoever lived anywhere near the Savage Lands being a shortcut?
Well, there's a reason they have to take the shortcut. Yeah. Conan's reason is that he's a badass and he likes to test himself. Punisher has a really good reason for doing it as well, but you got to read the book to find out.
Awesome. So then, of course, the big one, you've heard us talk about it a number of times, Something is Killing the Children, is by far one of the coolest new comics coming out. Boom just really knocked it out of the park with 2 books back-to-back, Once and Future, and Something is Killing the Children. We finally have copies of number 1 again in print. It is the 3rd printing, but it is so fucking amazing. I don't know why you wouldn't be reading this book. You need to be reading this book. It is so cool. So I'm going to turn it around so me and Richard can talk about how amazing Something is Killing the Children is.
Every week I say it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is basically the story.
When's issue 2 coming out?
Next week, actually. So we can finally talk about that.
Sorry to cut you off.
No. So Something is Killing the Children is about a young teenage girl by the name of?
Erica Slaughter.
There you go. Who
on the spot.
Goes from town to town killing monsters in the most badass way possible. But when we come to a new town where monsters are, once again, killing children, we get to the story of a young boy who had to witness all these horrible things. And that in itself is a tale. But then we get Erica Slaughter, who's just going to come and just brutalize this beast. I cannot wait to see that unfold in the 2nd issue.
Definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, artwork is amazing. The covers are always brilliant. Like, it's just a great book.
This cover's fantastic.
Yeah, brand new cover for the 3rd issue. I don't know who did this, but Lee G. But yeah, it's
Jay
amazing.
Lee.
That's not Jay Lee, I don't think.
Oh no, it
That's
doesn't.
not Jay
I
Lee,
thought
yeah.
it was a Jay Lee cover.
No, Jay Lee did the first printing #1.
Well, I know that, but I thought he did this one too. My bad, I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, but yeah, Lee G. But yeah, awesome cover, awesome book. If you don't have it, you need to grab this. If you do have it, you need this alternate cover. But definitely grab this book if you don't already have it. It is an amazing read. Like I'm talking to you specifically. If you don't have this book, grab this book. It's amazing.
Especially before issue 2, so you don't have to even wait that long like I've been waiting.
Yeah.
This
You grab
thing is
book
the
this
setup. Issue 2 will be the delivery. Knocking it out of the park. Definitely pick it up.
Yeah. So, Something is Killing the Children. You need to grab that. As we continue on with the tremendous She-Trump. You know, why not? The Trump books have been hilarious, bipartisan comedy. The tremendous Trump, which was a great Hulk joke, is now spinning into the wonderful She-Hulk joke of tremendous She-Trump from the guys at Antarctic Press. Of course, we still have our Spawn 300, so you can get these signed by the great Brian Haberlin in a few weeks. Mark Miller, Space Bandits, where the 80s have reached space, is out once again with some absolutely amazing covers by the great Matteo Scalera. I'm loving this book. I hope you are too, because what's better than the 1980s mixed with crazy sci-fi? And possibly soon to be a Netflix series, because you know what? That's just what happens with all Mark Miller's books now. Strike Force. You read Strike Force, didn't you? I loved Strike Force. It was great. Teenie Howard did an amazing job bringing together, you know, some, I want to say, B-team Avengers to deal with some intense paranormal forms that the Avengers are not happy with them dealing with, as they basically go and hunt down Damon Hellstrom. But is Damon Hellstrom the real threat here, or is there something far worse? Blade leads the team with a really great ragtag group of heroes. There's some awesome covers there you're definitely going to want to grab. Star Pig from IDW hits its 3rd issue, the tale of a really out there sci-fi all-ages bit of fun. Star Wars hits the 72nd issue as we get closer and closer to the final issue, issue 75 of Star Wars. Dr. Aphra hits 37, and Dr. Aphra's master, Darth Vader, is back. Speaking of Darth Vader, the all-ages October weekly series Star Wars Adventure, Vader's Castle, is returned to Vader's Castle. A bunch of wonderful standalone issues that deal with horrific stories about Darth Vader and other Sith. Wonderful for young readers, old readers, and readers of all ages. This fun book will be a must for all Star Wars and Sith fans. Then we get to Strange Skies Over East Berlin, the brand new boom book by Jeff Loveness. And this is an unbelievable one I'm going to have to talk over with the great Richard over here, because this was an awesome setting for a book, and it is an amazing story for the book, and great artwork.
I love it. It's right up my alley. Spy thriller set in East Berlin under Soviet control.
1970s, actually.
73, I believe, is where it picks up. Your main protagonist appears to be a double agent, which is really cool. And then it kind of has that paranormal X-Files feel thrown in there. Something falls out of the sky. He's called to help investigate it, and stuff starts getting really weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you don't ever really get to see the East Berlin setting in comics, or really in anything. I can't even think of a good movie that we've had really set in East Berlin in a good while, let alone comic-wise.
Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, Atomic Blonde, actually, yeah, but that comic came out about a decade ago.
Yeah.
You get to deal with the Stasi, you know, the East German, you know, police. You're dealing with Soviet spies. You're dealing with paranormal sci-fi, you know, concepts. Like, it's exciting.
X-Files set in the Soviet bloc.
Yeah, I mean, the artwork reminds me of Ben Templesmith back at, like, you know, his IDW days. So, Lisandro Estrin, I apologize for screwing that name up if I did. Great artist, really has me excited to see more of their work in the near future. Yeah, so Strange Skies Over East Berlin, you're definitely going to want to grab that one. Really, really cool, unique book.
Tell me, does that cover not scream Bruce Willis in a movie?
It does, actually. I would definitely be down to watch Bruce Willis in that part. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. So, we also have Swordmaster back for its 4th issue, which has Shang-Chi in a little backup story. Great Mary Jane cover. Mary Jane running on the roofs of China. Swordmaster is a fun one, spinning out of Future Fight and Agents of Atlas. set in the Marvel Universe. Really, really cool. Charlie Adlard, the man who wrapped up Walking Dead, the infamous artist of more than 180 issues of the popular comic series, now has a brand new book, Vampire State Building. This is a very interesting concept of vampires controlling New York in a very dark tale. Really great homage cover to the wonderful, was it Starlin or Lim who did that great Infinity Gauntlet cover? I can never remember.
Starlin did the book. I don't know who did the cover.
Yeah, but really, really cool cover there. Doing really well on that. Yeah.
Sorry, if you picked that one up, let us know in the comments what you thought about it, because I didn't grab it, and I want to know if I should grab it and read it.
Yeah, there you go. Vampirella continues to celebrate her 50th anniversary with a brand new ongoing series, Vengeance of Vampirella, filled with some amazing, amazing covers. That great Josh Middleton one there. I am loving so much of these. One with cosplayer Joni Brosis. We have, I believe, a wonderful Frank Cho cover right there. Perillo. Absolutely amazing looking book. Cannot wait to sit down and give this one a read later tonight. The Vampirella stuff Dynamite's been doing has just been knocking it out of the park, whether it's Vengeance of Vampirella, the main Vampirella series, Red Sonja Vampirella, or Red Sonja Vampirella Meet Betty and Veronica. If you aren't grabbing these, they're all on this great Vampirella standee that we have right here in the middle of the store, so you can catch up on all these awesome titles. We then hit the WWE SmackDown 20th Anniversary one-shot from Boom and wrap things up with the surprisingly great comic every time I read it, Comics Tribe's Wailing Blade, which is just the epitome of 90s fantasy. It is a big man with a big sword beating the crap out of evil things. Love this book, as I do so many of the other amazing comics that came out this week, this Wednesday, October 2nd, 2019, New Comic Book Day. Tell us what you think of these amazing comics in the comments. If you're watching this live, if you're watching it later, please spread the word. We would love to hear from you. I love getting to read the comments afterwards. If there's any books you need us to pull for you, just give us a shout and we're happy to pull those for you. I know Cesar does it all the time. So thank you all for watching. From me and Richard both.
Thank you. I would actually like to just add, I ask every week if you'd like to see something different or just discuss different topics or whatever, please put it in the comments of what you'd like to see. We've been throwing around the idea of doing a couple different things, including maybe reviews of books after the fact, since we try not to spoil it on the Wednesday feed.
So hard to do with the House and Powers
but there's
books.
So many good stories to actually just sit down and digest and discuss. And if you would like to see that, please let us know, because if no one wants to see it, we'll just keep talking about it by ourselves here.
Yeah, you guys could all get left
anyways.
out.
Do you want to be included?
And then on top of that, as always, on Fridays or Saturdays, we try and do it on Fridays, but it'll be one of the two always. We have our Final Order Cutoff live stream, where you can get your last chance to adjust your orders and get in books on whatever cover, quantity, or title that you want before we finalize the orders every Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice one.